Another massive attack by Russian drones and missiles on Ukrainian cities in recent days. Over 500 weapons were launched. Many of them reached their targets, many in western Ukraine near the Polish border. First, the cats started going crazy. They went mad. They sense the approaching Saheds. They immediately start growling and running around in circles. At that time, I was eating breakfast. Then I heard them coming. I woke up my wife and goddaughter and took them to the bathroom. I stood behind a partition wall and there was an explosion. The glass shattered and the windows were broken. Then another one hit. The Ukrainians are looking for a way to deal with the drones. They are building so-called interceptors. They are cooperating with European and American arms companies to produce them. The problem, however, is Russian maneuverable missiles which can shoot down the American Patriot launchers provided to Ukraine. Last week, the White House announced a temporary suspension of missile deliveries for these launchers while the U.S. military's needs are reviewed. Now, Donald Trump has announced the restoration and increase of arms supplies to Ukraine.
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Yeah, defensive weapons primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard. It's very sad. So many people are dying in that mess.
This radical change in the U.S. administration's attitude towards supporting Ukraine is the result of several factors. The first and most important being the attitude of the Russian dictator and criminal Putin. The White House has been offering a diplomatic way out of the war for months. Putin has chosen confrontation.
We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Kyiv strongly supported Washington in its diplomatic efforts, but at the same time warned against placing too much trust in Putin. The latest conversation between President Zelensky and Trump was supposed to be a turning point in relations between Ukraine and the United States. Today, I instructed the Minister of Defense and the Commander-in-Chief to intensify all contacts with the American side. We now have the necessary political statements and decisions that we must implement as soon as possible to protect our nation and our positions. This primarily concerns air defense, as well as all other elements of supplies from the United States. The arms supplies to Ukraine, although important, are less significant than the decisions on sanctions to be taken by Washington. Those prepared by a team of Republican senators are aimed not so much at Russia itself as at anyone wishing to do business with Russia. Unofficially, it involves a 500% tariff on any country that buys any raw materials from Russia. This is intended to break the only branch of the economy that brings Moscow income.
It's an optional bill. It's totally at my option. They pass it totally at my option and to terminate totally at my option. And I'm looking at it very strongly.
As revealed by the American media last year, during a closed meeting with sponsors supporting Donald Trump's election campaign, the American president reportedly quoted a fragment of a conversation with Putin from his first term. It was then that he allegedly threatened the Russian dictator with bombing Moscow in the event of an invasion of Ukraine. According to Donald Trump, Putin did not fully believe the warning, but nevertheless decided not to invade at that time.